Okay, for the designs that go on your face, what you want to do is measure the space from where your temple is to the arch of your eyebrow. You can use a ruler if you want. What I do is I just do this, literally take my 2 fingers, do this. So you just put your fingers like that on the paper plate and the design you made. You don't want to make it straight, you want to make it in a curve. Like that. See that angle? You just want to make an angle. Then you could draw random designs on how you want it to look. I like it how MacLeod has it, just kind of looking like flames or seaweed. Then you just take a scissor and you cut your design out. Don't throw away these pieces, you're going to need them for later. Now take your design and you're going to use your paint. It depends what kind of color scheme you're going with. Pretend you're going to use red sequins, then use a red paint in the back. Since I use blue and green sequins, I made it blue in the back, okay? So just what you're going to put on your face, make it the color you're going to put on your face, okay? Anyway, so I'm going to take my paint and I'm going to use blue. You paint the front and the back of it, and you want to paint the sides too. You do not want any white to show. Okay, now I am not going to paint this entire thing though, because that will take too long for it to dry and everything. So once it's all painted, pretend this was all painted and that it was dry. The next thing you are going to do is take some glue and you're just going to put it all over. So when you make your design, you want to choose one color sequence that's going to be the main color. For me, it was this light oceany blue color. It's better if you choose a lighter color because it reflects light better and it just shines more and looks more oceany instead of just doing dark blue. And then you want to choose a color that's a little bit darker than that. For me, I chose a darker green. Then you're just going to take your sequence and start applying it. Remember, you have to make one for your left side and your right side. But when you make them, you have to make sure you make one where the curve is facing your right, and then you got to make one where the curve is facing your left. Okay, let me just show you. Pretend this was all done, and I had 2 of these, okay? And I made a mistake. Instead of making one this way and one this way, I now have 2 this way. What does that mean? I'm going to have one that goes right, and then I'm going to have one that's like this. You do not want that. Take your paper plate, the part that was cut out, the part that flicks like that. You want a paper plate that flicks like that, that goes up like that in a curve. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that. You can cut it in half a little bit because nobody's face is that wide. Anyways, so what you're going to do is right here where you're going to put your fin, which is like at the top of where your cheekbone is, like where your temple is or by your ear. Just measure it. Take your thing, decide where you want to cut it. I want to cut mine right below my ear. So I don't know if you can see it, but right below my ear. So mine is about 2 inches long, and I want it to be only 1 inch wide. I think 1 inch wide is good enough for everybody, so I'm just going to trim it off a little bit more. So you're going to take another piece, and you're going to want it to layer your main piece. So that it fits right over your main one. So it's going to be like this. One smaller piece that goes over the bigger piece that's going to be covering your ear, like that. So what you do is you take your smaller piece and you glue that. So make sure you glue it right at the top, like that, and then let it dry. So now you're going to paint this, but this you're going to paint to look like the ocean. So I'm going to use blue, white, and green. So blue, I will paint the whole thing blue. So again, for time's sake, let's just pretend this whole thing was painted blue. So now you're going to want to take some white, take your same paintbrush, and just splat like this all over. And then take some green, splat like that. And what this is doing is giving it texture, more texture to look like the ocean, to blend in better with your makeup, you know. Instead of just it being all blue, it's going to look cheap. You want to give it some kind of texture and different colors to it. So that's why we're doing this, to make it look more like the ocean. What you're going to start doing, put some glue off on the side, and now you're just going to start gluing sequins to the back of your design. When you glue them on, I don't know if you can see this, you want half of the sequins to be showing. You don't want the entire sequins to be showing, like you don't want it like that. You want it half of it to be showing, so it looks more just like scales. At the top, right at the top of it, you're going to apply some glue, just a line like that. You're going to take your sequins, cut it in half, and use those halves to decorate the top. Use the ends again, right here at the end, where the little curve is. You take that, and you want your gill to start where your fin would be. So you put the paper plate against your face. When you apply this to your face, you want to attach this to your cheekbone only. You do not want it to be touching your apples of the cheek, because, you know, if you glue it like this, it's going to be falling off. When you talk, you're not going to be able to smile and stuff. It's going to start falling off like that. So you just want it to be attached to your cheekbone. So what you do, fit it like that. And you want to cut at an angle so that the fin will not be touching your cheek. So there you go. I'm going to cut this at an angle. You see that? You see? So it's not touching the apples of my cheek. Now I want to make this smaller. I don't want it that gigantic. So go. I still want them smaller. That's perfect for me. This is about 2 inches in length and then like half an inch long. So like that. You're going to paint this the exact same way you painted this. So